I used to play this all the time on the Genesis. I remember that ad. We brought you Golden Axe, and they like brought the arcade machine into the kid's bedroom. Kind of don't need that now, do I?
Hello and welcome back to Greg's Game Room. Now, if you've been following some of my videos over the past couple of months, then you know that I've been trying to build my own custom control deck. If you watched my last video about that, didn't turn out so well.
I think I'm gonna have to take this second layer off. I'm gonna tear it off, and I think I'm just gonna paint it. I think I'm just gonna get some really nice paint and just paint it.
I feel like probably the easiest thing for me to do would be to spray paint it and put some lacquer over it really nice and sand it down really good. So that's what I ended up doing. So let me show you the progress. All right, so here's my control deck as it sits right now. What I ended up doing was getting a sander like this, just a little hand sander, a little small thing I got at Lowe's. Cost me about 30 bucks. I ended up also getting these 220 grit disc. This is like the one that's gonna make it nice and smooth. So I also got this one here that's an 80 grit disc, which is a little bit more. And then I got some gloss black Krylon paint here, spray paint. And finally I got this lacquer to spray over top of it to hopefully make it nice and slick and smooth and everything. Looks pretty nice. It's like a Velcro on the bottom here. They gave me one sandpaper disc. I'm excited. I've never had one of these before.
It's gonna be a heck of a lot easier than me doing it by hand. It feels pretty good. I can kind of see the wood start to show back through again. By the way, I decided to go with the 120, the one that came with it, just to start with. I really want this to be nice and smooth and super smooth and professional looking. I'm not a carpenter and I'm not good at doing this kind of stuff professionally. I don't have any clue what I'm doing, but at the same time, you know, I'm cheap. Feels nice and smooth. I wonder if I should try spray paint it now. Maybe I should let it dry for a little bit since I've now wiped it down with a wet paper towel. All right, let's see how it is. In the Florida sun, it doesn't take very long to dry. All right, not too bad. I got a little paint on my hand, but way more down there. So now I got it sitting here on the patio drying, sitting on one of these pocket lounge boxes right next to my grandmother's rattan chair. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's a little splotchy, but I didn't really hammer in the paint really good. I mean, I didn't spray a whole heck of a lot of paint, so I may hit this one again with the 120, which is still on here. As I do more coats of paint, I think I'll start working with the 220s. Now, that's interesting. I'm not really sure what sanding a coat of paint actually does. All it did is seem to take off the paint everywhere. Why do you sand over paint? I don't really get the point of that. All right, let's do another shot of the good stuff here. Alrighty, I've painted this a bunch of times now, and it feels pretty smooth, but there's a few spots where it's rough, like right here maybe. I'll run the 220 grit disc that I got earlier. Here's the lacquer that I'm going to put on here. Hopefully I got the right stuff. I don't know, we'll see. It's kind of hard to tell if it's doing anything. Alright, I guess I'll let that dry for a while and then I'll go ahead and sand it down. Alright, trying again. Got the 220 on here. Gonna smooth this off a bit. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but sanding it down after I put a clear coat over it still made it kind of dull. I didn't really expect that, so I guess I'll just spray it down with some more lacquer stuff. I'll spray it down a couple more times with that. Hopefully that'll make it shiny again.
Okay, so here's the progress of the control deck. Nice and smooth. It's got a couple coats of lacquer on it. We're just going to go ahead and put all these parts right here, keep falling on the floor, back into the control deck now. I think I ought to do the buttons first, because if I have this upside down, it's going to be scratching my table and this huge joystick thing. Player 1, I want to be red. So that means this side here is going to be red. And I think what I want to do is make sure that all these pins are lined up the same exact way. it might help me later on when I'm hooking up the wires. Okay, here we go. One set of buttons. Alright, so I just went ahead and put in all the buttons. I haven't screwed them in or anything. What I did was I made all of these buttons oriented exactly the same way. There's a little, very tiny arrow. I just made the arrow point the same direction for every one of these so that I know which set of pins does what. Alright, so here we go. All my buttons, player 1, player 2. Alright, well now it's time to put in the joysticks. I've got the little arrow here that points to this arrow, tells me exactly how it goes in, so hopefully I can get this lined up as perfectly as I had it before. Fits. Now I made this hole kind of smaller than the regular holes, and I was always concerned that the joystick itself would start to bump into the side of the hole there, but I think I've got it just right. Alright, now I'm going to put these bat top joysticks that I got from the blue one went on fairly easy without too much trouble. The red one felt like it had a little bit of a misthreading there. It may just be me not getting it on right. The way that it's threaded here, it should match up perfectly with this. Alright, so these are the wires for the LED lights, and it's a huge single stretch of wire here. It's kind of confusing, but I think the LED light is supposed to be plugged into this 5 volts here at the end, but there's also 5 volts here, so I don't know what's the difference. I'm not really sure. This is the first thing we'll do. We'll go ahead and plug in the joystick, which already comes with this connector right here, and I've already got it plugged into the encoder. So I'll just plug it into the joystick itself right here. Now the first thing we'll do is we'll do all the buttons. It's hard to tell on this picture. It's a close-up, but it's not close-up enough to tell which ones are the buttons and which ones are the LED lights. Very slightly, these are more copper colored and these are more silver colored. And the silver colored are the ones for the connection. They're not the LED lights. So we'll go ahead and do those. You want to make sure that you get the buttons in the same exact order on both sides. So this is going to be button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'll do 7 and 8 over here. Alright, so we got all of these hooked up for player 1, and we'll go ahead and set these up on the encoder board. So this will be joystick 1 right here. According to this, button number 1 is down here, so I'll go ahead and just follow that. Button number 1 and button number 2. One thing that I definitely learned about this the first time that I put this together is that you don't want to take it apart once you put it together, because these connections are extremely tight here. Very difficult to get out once you put them in there. There we go. That's buttons 1 through 6 on there, 1 through 6, and then I'll go ahead and do the 2 select and start buttons. So we'll do select. Select is going to be blue. Put that here on K7, and then we'll put this on K8. Start button. Alright, so we got all the buttons set up for the buttons. Now we got to figure out how I'm going to do this for the LED lights. Now, LED lights are a little bit more interesting because it's this one long stretch of cable. I think what I'll do is I'll plug this in first, right here. Again, I don't know if it matters which one you plug it into. They all say 5 volt on them, so I'll just plug it into that one, I guess. So we'll do red here. I mean, it is like really, really tight getting that on there. Once you put it on, you don't get it off. I don't know what the best order would be to put all these together. Probably not whatever order that I'm doing it in. And now we do the same thing with the black side of things. And I'm just going to follow the same path that I did with the red. Alright, there we go. We still have 2 extras on each end. So as you can see, this is what you call a rat's nest of cables and wires. Alright, so now I'm having to exact a little bit of repair on these because I screwed these up. As you can see, I ripped
thing out of there when I disconnected it. So I'm really just gonna strip the cable with this and then wrap it around here and then use a little bit of electrical tape to make sure it doesn't come loose again. If I had the proper tools, I probably could have fixed this a lot easier, but I have nothing around here. It's just me and a wire stripper. Electrical tape here. Hopefully that'll be good enough. All right, well, now that I've finished my jury-rigged cable, as you can see, I've got it 3 different spots where I had to fix this thing. We'll just do it the exact same way that I did the red side. Okay, there we go. Got red all in there. Red's good to go. Now let's get the black in there. Here it is, all wired up and everything. All right, let's move this out of the way for now. And then we'll put in the new control deck here. So now I have these 2 cables that are gonna plug into the Raspberry Pi. It's hard to do with one hand. Okay, sure, go into that port, that's good. And then this one will plug into there. I don't think it really matters which port you plug them into, just as long as you get them plugged in. Here, put it in. There we go. Well, that's my first time seeing it all nice and painted and everything. That looks pretty nice. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. Nice and shiny and smooth and everything. And buttons are all the way that I want them. Red on the left and blue on the right. Got these new bat-style joysticks. I forget, are they covers or what? I don't know what they're called. But yeah, look, it's nice and smooth and everything. So shiny. All right, let's turn it on for the first time here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Whew, thank goodness. I'm so relieved that I got all the lights hooked up correctly. That's awesome. And you can't even tell because of this low resolution camera that I've got so many imperfections on this board. Actually, you can tell one right here where I kind of dug into it a little bit when I was cutting it. But yeah, for the most part, you know, looking at it from a distance, you're never gonna know. So now I've got to reconfigure the controls here somehow. Every time I rearrange, I have to do this over again, only because I had my my tank stick in there before. Configure input. Oh, here we go. It's this button. 2 gamepads detected. Hold a button on your device to configure it. Okay, so I'll just hold that button. All right, now we're gonna do up, down, left, right, and then that's going to be start, and the other button's going to be select, and then A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder, and now I don't have any other buttons correspond to these, so I'm just going to hold down any button to just skip it. Okay, now I'm going to do configure input on the other side because I have never had 2-player control, so this will be a new experience here. And we'll go up, down, left, right, start, select, then A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then we're just going to skip all the rest. All right, so after a little bit of configuring, I was able to get Final Fight to work 2 players, which is good. If I hit left, they both go left, right, they both go right, up, down, attack, attack. Or jump, I guess that's jump. So anyway, it looks like it's working. Oh, I just exited by accident. All right, time for a proper playthrough. All right, let's play a little Galaga 88. Select. Add some buttons, add coins. A lot of coins. And start. There we go. In some ways, I like this version of Galaga better than the original. Oh, come on, I'm dead already? Of course, this game would see life on the TurboGrafx 16 as Galaga 90. I don't know that they changed anything about it compared to the arcade version, except change it from 88 to 90. It's the same exact game. That was a lucky shot. All right, I got my dual ships back. Of course, I can't do the triple ship now, because I totally screwed that up. Oh, come on. All right, this game is harder than the Galaga 90 version on the TurboGrafx. I'm usually much better than this. Oh no, you're not getting me this time. Oh no, you're not. I already know I'm out of ships. Oh, I should have got that. Oh, dang it. All right, I want to play something that'll work with the 2-player so I can test out the 2-player again. I already tried Final Fight when I first started it, but how about Golden Axe? Start. Oh man. Maybe I don't have the 2nd player set up yet. It was working in Final Fight. Why isn't it working in Golden Axe? I used to play this all the time on the Genesis.
There you go. I love that sound effect she makes. Oh! All right, time for some. Oh, where's the button? Where's the button? Which button is it? Oh, if I just hit them all, I guess I get it right. Oh, great! Now they're gonna gang up on me with 2 dragons. Dueling dragons. Wait, that ride doesn't exist anymore. What else is a 2-player? Knights of the Round is a 2-player game. Let's try that. There we go. We got 2 players now. Sweet. Works. So 2 people could play as Arthur at the same time? Up, down, left, right. Oh man, this is so cool. Oh, I'm waiting for some 2-player action now. I need to invite some friends over to the game room. Only had some friends to play with me. You know, I gotta say, this is a pretty good setup. I actually like it a lot. It's pretty nice so far. Not perfect, not an A+, but for something that I made myself, you know, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty nice. If nothing else, you will learn a lot about how these controls work and what it takes to set them up and plug them in and get it all going. So definitely, if you have the time, I would say it's worth it to spend it working on something like this. So yeah.
Alright, well I really like the control deck that I built. It's nice and smooth and seems to work just perfectly fine. It's a DIY thing, definitely for sure, and considering that I don't really know what the heck I'm doing, I think I did a pretty halfway decent job. Anyway, I appreciate your watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you liked it, if you got something out of it, please click the like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Thank you all for watching, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Come on, Percival, stop lagging behind. Problem playing by yourself. Let's go. This way. Come on! Oh, crap. Doesn't do any good.